Oh, greetings, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Japanese Fury, and today we are reviewing The Nameless. The Nameless is obviously an anime tank due to the series. We are also trying a new thing. We are also trying to prevent long-term reviews and jumping straight into the battle. But first things first, I have to tell you 3 important things that they don't know about this tank. And first of them is what crew you get. Because the person you get for this tank is a unique officer. You get an anime female. It makes her the first anime person in the game for a female officer. Which is, I find it funny for you Americans. It's like they don't realize that we made them to brainwash them for our glorious emperor. You didn't hear that. Anyway, she doesn't have unique perks, but however, she's the first anime female officer. There is another one, but we will review that another time. But for right now, I have to tell you about the things that are not shown when you get this tank. First and foremost is its ammo cost. Its ammo cost, armor piercing, is 225 damage with 375. The penetration is 165 to 275, which is good because they buffed it, which is about damn time. They always neglect the Emperor's honor and they always put us last. The cost for this bullet though is 1015 for one shell, which is normal for a normal tier 8 for mostly about your barbarian Soviets and barbarian Germans. APCR, same damage, but only do 195 to 325 millimeters a pen. Lot more penetration, but the cost is still the same for its APCR, 4,800 a shot. Typically normal again for a normal tier 8 heavy. But the last one, high explosives, is 270 to 450. Penetration is 333 to 55. Cost ammunition for one bullet, 920. And for some strange reason this tank plays up to a tier 10. Now I will explain more on the battlefield ahead what you're supposed to do and how the gun works. But until then, I will see you on the battlefield in the name of our Emperor. I almost nearly forgot. One more thing I have to show you. The stats of its speed, what crew it has. As you could see on the bottom right hand corner, you got the commander, gunner, driver, radio man, and ammo. As you could see by the viewing range, you could see pretty good far away from nearly 4 grids over. And the reloading, for a good crew like I have, and plus the equipment. I don't have vents, so I can't really tell you how fast the reloading, but I got mine down to 7.59, and you can see how the aiming time works. But as an angle, it makes it harder to aim downwards. Now getting ready to fire, if this damn tank gets out of the fucking way. And direct it. Shoot a little farther back. Got him. Now this thing has very good detection rating and very good, but the only thing she lacks, she cannot hide, as you can tell by how big she is. Now let's try turning her around. As you can see, turning around is not really great on this tank. Even with clutch braking, it makes it harder to turn around when you're against light tanks. Now as for the head itself is kinda slow, so you have to physically turn both against light tanks that are charging against you. Alright, now let's head to the first battlefield. Here we are on the first battlefield in the service of our glorious Emperor of Japan. And there she is, The beautiful Nameless. First time me battling in today's battle. Now the Japanese Nameless has the 88 length gun, but do not judge it by its length of barrel. For some strange reason, even though the gun is shorter like the KV-2, it has the accuracy of a Tiger II. But always remember to never approach the lion's den. Which means for you stupid Americans out there that don't understand Japanese, you need to make sure that this tank does not go up close and personal. For if you do, you will be killed quickly like a samurai with no sword against a katana. Now as I was trying to do, I am trying to push up to this damn hill to get to the front line. But the problem is I can't go too far up, but I get worried. For example, all their tanks are pushing up that way, and everybody else seems to be cowardly back. Cowards. They're a disgrace to the Emperor. Now, as I tried to push up, I tried to get a good position to fire my 88 at the enemy. Now, a problem is with this tank, it does not also have a good viewing range, so I have to keep it at a good distance away. I'm saying SOS to the fucking idiots down there. I'm not the one in trouble, but I need people up here. More warriors means more death. So as you can see, I am shooting that tank way over there, penning him in the head. It's a T-44 Soviets, barbarian dogs. But apparently he tries to pull back. And I tried to stay there shooting, not realizing what they have. The 3 artillery, making me nervous. And I have to keep backing up back and forth, back and forth. That's what you do in the Nameless. But sadly I got hit with Audi and had to pull out. Now my next attack is to try to push up here to this windmill to keep the Audi from not hitting my sides. But unfortunately though, it's nothing but a light tank up here, and me with the rest of the team in the back. So it's just me versus the fucking world, as it should be for a great warrior. Now there's the WOT 11, the new premium tank for the Chinese. They don't understand the Japanese way of side scraping. This tank is perfect at side scraping, almost equivalent to a Tiger II side scraping. And luckily, they couldn't pin me, and because of the windmill, the Arty could not shoot me. Their enemies cannot harm me. And then the barbarian Soviet tried to charge me, but I showed them the might of the Red Sun. They were withdrawing, weak, getting tired. My forces finally push up and not been cowards. The other problem with this tank too is its pen is only 149, so I have to be really careful of where I'm shooting. Yes, I'm shooting APCR, but if you notice, we're in a tier fucking 9. 149 millimeters of armor is kind of very hard to shoot somebody there. And I'm trying my best, but as you can see, what I'm doing is you have to shoot long range, like a ninja shooting an arrow to sink a ship at many miles away. Now it's the T-29, the Americans. Now, what I am doing too, every time I fire at close range, I angle my tank to where he only hits the peak of my corners on the tank. And then when I'm ready to fire, face 90 degrees to fire again, because of the gun depression so bad, but the armor angle makes it harder for him to pin me, and then boom, dead. Another one for the worthy of the Empire's head. And then I saw the STI over there, but it was kinda hard to shoot him from this range. I tried firing and only did a critical hit. So 2 kills, 8 pens, 7 critical hits, and 4 assist damage. But I was getting shot at, but I was no fear of any man. I am the Emperor's will, and I charged up, and they only tracked me. But I kept going. As a sword in the night, I pierced their way through and tried to detect them, to give my allies something to shoot. Unfortunately though, I was being withdrawn as I tried to set up a position to shoot over the ridge. I did not see the arty at A1 until it was too late. I died for my country and for the Emperor. Now, as you can see, the Japanese Nameless has some flaws. As you Americans put it, the way of this tank, you have to snipe at long range, but she's still decent. However, I don't know why they put it in tier 10s. The gun pen is so bad at 10s that I will explain more once we enter the garage and show you the reward. And there you go, guys. The Red Sun has won this day. And as you can see, even though I dishonorably used APCR in a tier 9 game, but look at the results, I still walked away with my pride. I got basically a mastery badge, 1, which I already had a mastery badge of 99. But at least I still got it after all these days. And basically cool head to keep me from not dying. The Emperor's shield protected me. And I walked away with 42,949 credits with XP of 2,768. Although, if I didn't have premium, I would have lost 5,000k easily. But I would be happy with the damage I've done with 2,451 out of 3,064 assists, and the blocks being 3,175. And I was at the top of the leaderboard, so even though I fired APCR most of the game and didn't pen much, I still walked away with a lot of currency. And did so much damage to my enemies that the Emperor smiles upon me. But we must talk about the final price and the actual result of our numbering of what this tank would be. So I'll see you in the garage, comrades. Now, we come to the sad conclusion of what I will have to say about this. Despite that it will bring me dishonor to give this tank a bad rating, I would have to say, in the name of the Red Sun of the Emperor, it would have to be a 7 out of 10. And the reason why this tank is a 7 out of 10, because it plays up to a tier 10. This tank should not be into a tier 10s. It should be only at a freaking tier 9s. Like, only play up that high as premium matchmaking. Why? Like you've seen in the video, the gun depression on this tank is very, very hard to aim, forcing you to play this tank as a sniper heavy. Pretty much staying far in the back, making sure you shoot them at 90 degrees. However, 90 degrees will get you killed due to the underbelly's weakness. So you have to physically fire at 90 degrees and then angle yourself pretty much every time you're reloading and then go back to 90 degrees to fire again. But the problem is against tier 10s, with armor piercings that weak and you have no gun depression to aim for underbellies that easily, it makes it extremely hard to kill a tier 10. It's like killing a dragon with a knife. It's fucking hard as hell. But regardless, despite the fact that I give it a 7 out of 10, it is one of my favorite heavy tanks for the Japanese line, even if I'm out of characteristic for a little bit. Personally, if you want this tank, please keep in mind to make sure you have to stay as far back as possible. If you have to get close, you have to angle it. This is my review, and I will see you comrades of the Emperor in the next video. Long live the Emperor, long live the Red Sun.